The session moderator, Professor Dr. Sunaina Singh, Vice Chancellor of the Nalanda University, all the distinguished panelists, starting from Dr. Barbara Mas, Mrs. Sarantayu Jigmed Suren, Dr. Bibhav Kumar Talukdar, Dr. Sarah Kim Gruez-Masher, and delegates coming for this conference, ladies and gentlemen. While I was very attentively looking at the presentations, which were more focused on, while the subject was also about environmental crisis in general, health and sustainability, but all the presentations were basically about animals and how do we protect their rights and how do we, through that, support the cause of ecology and environment, which is also, in a way, a kind of an approach. And in tune with the Buddhist philosophy, which we have been discussing right since morning, and as we know, because when I thought that I have to kind of give some kind of a summary as well and my own thoughts to be shared with all of you. If I look into the Buddhist philosophy in the context of the subject that we are discussing, I'm sure all of us are aware of the interdependence which is at the core of Buddhist philosophy, which emphasizes the interconnectedness of all beings and the importance of preserving the natural environment. From the Buddhist standpoint, the environmental crisis, health and sustainability are interconnected and therefore they require more attention and action. Because speaking about environment, ecology and similar such issues is perhaps very easy. But then making it a practice and letting it reflected through our behavior, it's something very difficult. And not for no reason, Honorable Prime Minister has been emphasizing on lifestyle for environment. It all boils down to lifestyle, and therefore, I believe the Buddhist philosophy definitely provides us some kind of a guiding light. Buddhism places a strong emphasis on the interconnectedness of all beings and environment. Buddha taught that everything in the world is interdependent and that each individual action has an effect on the entire universe. Therefore, from the Buddhist standpoint, it is essential to take care of the environment and to live in harmony with nature. I believe in most of the Oriental world, this has been the practice. I was sharing with Sunaina ji that in India also, there are many people who start their day by, in a way, praying to the Mother Earth and seeking her forgiveness. Padasparsham kshamasvame, as what we say. That has been the practice, that is the reverence, that is the respect. Buddhism teaches that all life is sacred and that every living being has intrinsic value. This includes animals, plants, and even inanimate objects such as rocks and mountains. Buddhists believe that harming any living being or any environment is a violation of the principle of ahimsa, non-harm, and can lead to negative karmic consequences. In addition to the principle of non-harm, Buddhism emphasizes the practice of mindfulness, which involves being present and aware of one's thoughts, feelings, and actions. Mindfulness can help individuals develop a deeper appreciation and respect for the environment that can lead to more sustainable and compassionate way of living. Furthermore, Buddhism teaches the concept of impermanence, which means that everything in the world is constantly changing and nothing lasts forever. This includes the environment, which is always in a state of flux. Therefore, Buddhists believe that it is important to live in harmony with nature and to preserve the environment for future generations. In summary, the Buddhist standpoint on the environment is one of respect, compassion, and mindfulness. Buddhism recognizes the interconnectedness, as we have seen, and that has to be borne in mind deeply, which will perhaps reflect some kind of a sense of responsibility in our day-to-day behavior. Insofar as health is concerned, from the Buddhist standpoint, health is considered important because it allows individuals to pursue spiritual development and achieve enlightenment. Buddhism recognizes the close relationship between the body and mind and emphasizes the importance of maintaining a balance between them. I'm really surprised. The modern sciences, especially the allopathy people, now they have discovered that there is something what is known as psychosomatic diseases. In the Oriental world, this has been the thinking. It is not just body. It is always the very close connection between body and mind that we have been aware of right since the days of Buddha. Buddhism teaches that physical health is influenced by various factors, including diet, exercise, rest, and environmental conditions. And it also recognizes that mental health is influenced by emotions, thoughts, and behavior. To maintain good health, Buddhism advocates the practice such as mindfulness, meditation, and a balanced lifestyle. These practices help individuals reduce stress, cultivate inner peace, and increase the power of resilience. However, Buddhism also recognizes the impermanent nature of the body and the inevitability of sickness and death. Therefore, while it emphasizes the importance of maintaining good health, it also encourages individuals to develop acceptance and equanimity in the face of illness and sufferings. Overall, the Buddhist standpoint on health emphasizes the importance of maintaining a balance between physical and mental health, cultivating mindfulness and inner peace. I believe all these things are also kind of applicable when we talk about, and they become very, very relevant when we talk about sustainability. Because as a student of social sciences, I believe what all matters is the relationship dynamics. How do we relate ourselves with the outer world? How do we relate ourselves with the inner self as well? Parallelly. It cannot be just one way. We have to relate ourselves with the outer world and with the inner self as well. And this has to go hand in hand. In fact, we were discussing about animals. Ma'am, there are many people who are now researching on communication with animals. I know about a case study, a journalist turned animal activist in Maharashtra. He is a photographer, basically a wildlife photographer. But later on, he developed the knack of talking to the elephants. And now he is giving solutions to the people in the Department of Forest, how to tame elephants. And he speaks in Marathi. And when he was invited by the government of Kerala to handle a similar situation there, he thought perhaps that Marathi may not work over here, but somehow even the Marathi spoken by this person was understood by the elephants in Kerala, because it's a knack. The way you relate yourself, your inner self, taking it right to the heart of the elephant or the animal as well. So, basically, it boils down to the relationship dynamics. And in that context, before I conclude, let me bring to the fore 3 points, which I believe are the foundational issues insofar as the crisis of sustainability is concerned. Number one is excessive individualism. Because, and today we see how individualism, privacy, private space, and all these things are gaining kind of a importance. Of course, one can advocate all these things, but then there are limitations as well. And when we talk about Buddha, who has taught us Sangham Sharanam Gacchami, which is rising above the individualistic considerations. Because individualism, and let me add over here that excessive individualism promotes competition. It promotes narrow-mindedness, and it affects the spirit of democracy as well. Ultra-individualistic societies perhaps create a fertile ground for the failure of democracy. Ma'am, I'm sure you would agree because we have been experiencing this in several societies. The second challenge is excessive use of technology. I mean, at times one wonders whether technology is for human beings or human beings are there for technology. I mean, we have become the prisoners of technology. And I'm afraid technology, if the dominance of technology is allowed in this fashion, with this pace, I'm afraid the technology is going to dehumanize us. And today, there are a number of symptoms which we are all experiencing around. We are talking about artificial intelligence. Let's hope that it doesn't lead us to spurious emotions and mechanical behavior. And these are not imaginary kind of threats that I am referring to. These things are happening. Of course, we have to use technology. We have to be friendly with technology. But at the same time, I think we have to be cautious, and mindfulness. It has everything to do with technology. Today, many people attend all kinds of rituals in their families, maybe family gatherings, weddings, seminars, conferences, but they are not there where they should be. They are in their smartphone. This is the state of our individual and social life today, and therefore I think we should be mindful about it. And the third important challenge is greed-based consumption. I mean, need-based consumption is okay. That is required. But when we move towards greed, and why does this happen? Again, all these things are interconnected, I believe, because I was talking about the relationship dynamics. Too much of individualism leads to excessive use of technology and leads to some kind of insecurity within our minds. Because all along, wherever you are alone. And this loneliness leads to greed and greed-based consumption. Even the ideas of enjoyment are taking a very perverse shape. People have, I mean, the indices tell us happiness index. I believe if there is something kind of a bliss index, the Oriental world and people who are the followers of Buddhism will definitely rank high. So this happiness requires perhaps to be replaced by the idea of bliss. The discussion also takes us at a particular level to the core issue of what is the purpose of human life. I mean, it's a philosophical question, but I think we cannot escape from it if we have to handle the situations emerging out of, as I said, mindless consumption, excessive individualism, and excessive use of technology as well. So all these things, as I said, once again tell us how, after all, it is the teaching, the writings, the teachings, the sermons of Lord Buddha are definitely going to show us the light. Buddha says, Sabba papas akaranam kusalas upasampada satchid pariyodapanam etam buddhana sasanam. Let us move forward as per the teachings of Buddha. Etam buddhana sasanam. Thank you very much.